days are never ending, when the nights are feeling lonely. There's a place that I can go, where the birds are free to roam, in the sky, flying high, over fields of green. And where the stars inside the sky, we're the last ones shining bright, pushing through the storm tonight. We'll be burning on and on and on. We're the stars inside the sky, we're the last ones shining bright, pushing through the storm tonight. We'll be burning on and on and on.
Hello Virgo, this is Inspire 2016 with your weekly tarot reading for the week commencing the 25th of September until the 1st of October 2017. The first card for you is representing, how do you feel about yourself? Your card is the Six of Pentacles. You are about to receive a loan or give a financial assistance to those in need. Now that you have lived through the darkness long enough to see the inner light, it is time to help others who are not so fortunate. Consider giving to charity or reaching out a helping hand to someone who needs your support. The generosity of the Six does not limit itself to money and material things. Giving of your time or your wisdom is often just as spiritually fulfilling as giving away money or gifts. And the intangible gift of your presence is received just as well, if not better. You may also be inclined to make a loan to someone, on the premise that they will eventually pay you back once they are back on their feet. This is a loan built on trust and good faith, knowing that if you give something away, it will come back to you. Remember, though, that this is more about a short-term fix and not a sustainable solution towards self-sufficiency. So, think about how you can financially support your family or friends in a way that encourages them to stand on their own 2 feet eventually. If you are the beggars in the Six of Pentacles, then you may be the recipient of someone else's charitable activities. This will help you to get back on your feet and to eventually repay the charitable organization or individual, either with your time or your restored wealth. You will also need to identify ways in which you can become more self-sufficient in the long run. The risk of accepting charity is that you become dependent on it and cannot look after yourself. Be mindful that you are not becoming submissive or noticeably desperate as a result of the charity that someone else is providing you. The second card for you is representing, what do you want most right now? Your card is the Nine of Swords. What do you want most right now is the end of fear, frustration and uncertainty at some point in your life. Your experience of the world is greatly influenced by our expectations, desires, and fears, and therefore you are largely the creator of your own world, and your attitudes determine how you experience that world. The Nine of Swords can also reflect fear of the future, or what may possibly happen in the future. If you allow yourself to be bound by fear of the future, you are at risk of eventually creating a negative reality for yourself by virtue of your expectations. Your nightmare becomes your self-fulfilling prophecy, which is clearly not a desirable outcome. Generally, this card is an indication that you are worrying excessively about a situation. You are literally being kept up at night because you are so anxious about a particular issue. It is possible you are working yourself up unnecessarily and, if you were to look at the situation more objectively, you may come to realize that it is not as bad as you are making it out to be. In fact, all that worry and despair is what is making it worse, so rather than fretting about it, do something to change it. Although most people experience fear, frustration and uncertainty at some point in their lives, you should not allow those negative emotions to immobilize you or keep you from pursuing your goals with enthusiasm and hope. Expect at least some level of uncertainty in the future, and draw upon your inner strength to remain as flexible and adaptable to that uncertainty as possible. The Nine of Swords can also indicate that you are being incredibly hard on yourself, putting yourself down or engaging in negative self-talk. For every mistake you make, you blame yourself and become worked up and angry at yourself for messing up again. So, ask yourself why you are being so hard on yourself. How are you putting yourself down, or what is the source of your depression? What can you do to make yourself feel better? The third card for you is representing your fears. Your card is the Seven of Swords. You are afraid and finding it difficult to take the first step in a new direction. At times it may seem impossible that you could create the types of changes you want as you continually come up against setback after setback. Yet, you know in your soul that when the timing is right, you will be able to follow through on your dreams, releasing an old pain from your heart. You need to break free from old habits and ways of thinking in order to overcome the blockages that currently stand in your way. You need to accept what is happening to you and act on it, rather than trying to escape. You need to do things differently, releasing yourself from past behaviors or limiting beliefs so that you can move forward in your life. Do not become trapped into thinking that you can only do certain things with which you are familiar. Expand your consideration set to broader horizons. If you are involved in an affair or extramarital relationship, this card shows a growing reluctance to keep up the charade of having this type of relationship. You or your partner may be feeling increasingly uncomfortable with this relationship and would much rather come out in the open about what is happening. The fourth card for you is representing what is going for you. Your card is the Three of Cups. You are open to helping others, which in turn means that others are open to helping you. It is about spending quality time with your loved ones and your friends. It is a very sociable period. You will find a harmonious balance between meeting your commitments and spending quality time with friends and family. This is a great time to let your hair down and indulge yourself a little. You may be particularly drawn to the bar or restaurant scene, indulging in great food, wine and cocktails. You may also be celebrating something special, such as a birth, engagement, wedding, reunion, or birthday. For the moment, even though life's problems go on, you can take time out to forget about the hassles of the everyday world and enjoy the company of your friends and loved ones. Such respites are often needed before and after periods of high stress, to stop you from getting burned out emotionally or physically. When this card appears and you are experiencing a high level of stress, take some time off to recuperate, and gain the support of friends before returning to reality. More broadly, the Three of Cups indicates the end or conclusion of any problems you have been experiencing, particularly those that relate to your interactions with others. A compromise will be found which will serve all the interests of those involved and will allow for a more harmonious environment. You can facilitate this process by bringing about positive change within yourself and changing your attitude and the way you react or deal with what is happening. Treat the situation with compassion and give the benefit of the doubt where possible. The Three of Cups represents community and groups of people coming together to focus on a common goal for the greater good of others. You may find that by reaching out to others and banding together, you can achieve a huge amount in terms of sharing your positive energy and passion with others, benefiting the wider community. It is a sign that you should seek out other people to celebrate your successes along with you. The fifth card for you is representing what is going against you. Your card is the Queen of Cups. You are afraid of your negative emotional mental state play in your head. You are allowing your imagination to run away with you. You mean well, but unfortunately you cannot be relied on. You are letting your emotions take hold and you are not thinking clearly with your head. At its worst, the precious qualities of imagination and flowing fantasy might turn out to be weakness and thoughtlessness, turning in any direction that any wind may blow, getting lost in a dream world of unreal fantasies. You are becoming easily overwhelmed by emotion, and you are becoming moody, unstable, brooding, suspicious, and overly secretive. The Queen of Cups represents an over-emotional wreck who can be driven to manipulative and vindictive behavior. Your mood swings are making life difficult for others and you are emotionally draining on those around you. You tend to play the emotional heartstrings to your advantage. Within you, you may also harbor angst and self-loathing for your inability to do more with yourself and your talents. This card heralds a time when separating the emotions from any sense of sensibility may be difficult. Strong emotions may seem to take all parties on a roller coaster ride. Within projects, jobs, or workplaces, all members may feel their emotions are a little frayed from stress. With this in mind, the Queen of Cups also warns against entering into any agreements with those who seem to play on your sense of guilt or pull on your emotional heartstrings, for they may not be what they seem. The Queen of Cups can indicate an over-reliance on other people's emotional responses, which may result in a codependency-type relationship. You may want to examine your current relationships. Is the codependency? Are you giving too much of yourself and not getting anything in return? This queen nurtures for the sake of inducing dependency, and places undue importance on being in a relationship, no matter what its quality. There could also be a tendency towards having too many expectations from your partner. The last card for you is representing the likely outcome that you may have. Your card is the King of Cups. You are emotionally balanced and controlled. You have a very deep understanding of your feelings and emotions, and are able to connect with this when necessary. As you deal with some of the scenarios that life throws at you, draw on this deep emotional maturity to help you navigate these challenges. Also, know that this is an incredible gift you have and be open to sharing your emotional stability and calm approach with others. If you are facing challenges, then the King of Cups is an indication that you must create balance in the realm of the emotions. The King of Cups represents compassion, one of the most powerful and beautiful qualities of the human spirit. Ask yourself, how can I develop a stronger awareness of the unconscious without being overwhelmed by its power? How can I develop a stronger sense of compassion without falling into the trap of sentimentality? The King of Cups encourages you to be considerate in your dealings with others and as you counsel others. You may need to understand why strong feelings have surfaced and how to best cope with them. It is important that you do not repress emotions but instead explore them with an open heart and an open mind. Sometimes, the King of Cups can represent an older male who may appear in your life. This card represents a man of business, law or divinity, who is kind, considerate and willing to take responsibility for his actions. He is paternalistic but in a sensitive, generous manner, and he enjoys the quiet power associated with providing loving energy to others. He is able to listen mindfully to others and he responds calmly in a crisis. He uses diplomacy rather than force, and reached out to help, not to stifle or have it only his way. Similarly, the King of Cups shows you generosity, graciousness, love, calmness, caring and will give you his healing ways. He has power in the business world and loves law and order. You would love him to be your doctor. If there were a crisis at hand, this is someone you would hope to have near. The King of Cups is highly diplomatic and politically correct. He has a real talent at being able to balance the needs of many people and keeps everyone working together harmoniously and productively. He knows how to show care and sensitivity as he leads others towards a common goal. He responds carefully to others' emotional needs and can diffuse a tense situation by reading and responding to the different people involved. Last but not least, the guidance card for you is the Freya. A phase of your life may be coming to an end, but it's important to acknowledge it's not the end. When one door closes, another opens. You may have been desperate for change, but now that it's here, you could feel vulnerable. Know that the mighty goddess Freya will guide you. Illusions are now being revealed so that you can leave behind anything that is false, step into your peaceful warrior-like energy and welcome the changes you deserve. Tie up all loose ends and take heart. This is an exciting time.
I hope that you enjoy everything, and if you like the reading, just please click subscribe and you will get instant notifications every time we publish a new video right to your YouTube. Thanks.